Yo guys, Coach Theo here on Common Sense. Today we'll be talking about why you're not seeing any progress with your training or with your weight loss, why you're plateauing. And we'll be talking about both, but the simple answer to both is you're not doing enough. You're either not doing the right thing or you're doing the right thing, but you're just not doing enough of it. Have to push harder, have to put in another gear. And I'm talking about this because I so often hear people talk about their lack of progress as if the problem was something other than themselves. You know, this kind of person like, oh, I've been going on a diet, I'm trying to lose weight, but nothing's happening. Or I've been going to the gym, but I don't see the difference, nothing's happening. And yeah, it sounds like there's a mysterious problem there. And I really can't relate because I've always known that whether it's with weight loss or with training, if I'm not seeing progress, it must mean that I'm either doing the wrong thing or that I'm just not doing enough what I should be doing, and I have to amp it up. Either train harder, train smarter, further reduce my calorie deficit somehow. And that's it. And yeah, and many people, if they were honest with themselves, they could figure out why they're not seeing progress. You know, because some people, they claim, when you talk to them first, it sounds like if you're really doing all this, it's strange. It is indeed strange that you're not seeing any progress. But if you talk with someone that's like been counting calories, for instance, turns out all of a sudden like, yeah, but not on the weekend. You know, I gotta treat myself on the weekend. It's kind of like, stop complaining, obviously. You know how easy it is if you're on a few 100-calorie deficit per day on the weekdays, and then you just go eating pizza and drinking a few beers Friday, Saturday, you're probably in a small surplus for the week instead. And with the training, I've also noticed that people that claim they train hard and that, they don't really, you know. And I know this from being a personal trainer, that you're pushing someone in a set, you know, and you're like, two more, and you see them stopping, they're like, no, come on, go on. And they say like, no, I couldn't, I just didn't have it in me. And it's kind of like, no, I could tell, I could see that you had it in you. Your form didn't break down or anything, it was just tough, and you chose to stop there. It's not that you couldn't do anymore, you chose to stop, okay? So this is the thing. On this channel, of course, we can talk about like something like training, for instance. As you get more advanced, it will actually be harder to make progress, and you're going to have to be smart. And it's not always that just brute forcing it is the thing that's going to work. With weight loss, it's not quite the same, to be honest, because that will be if you get down to like, you're going to be a bodybuilder, get down to like super ridiculously low levels of body fat. Because before that point, it really shouldn't get all that much more difficult just because you're leaner, you know. And so yeah, there are techniques, like technical stuff we can talk about, but on this channel, I've always tried to make you understand the big picture, that you have to pave the way for the progress you want to see. If you're not seeing it, you have to do more. You can't just sit there and be like, what I am doing should be working. It should be. No, it isn't. So you have to do more. Just have to do more. Come back to the genetics thing. People want to emphasize the importance of genetics for building a good physique, you know. But why is it that all the best naturals that I follow, you know, Alex Leonidas, formerly known as Alpha Destiny, Bald Omni-Man, Jeffrey Verity, Schofield or Schofield, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Natural Hypertrophy, these guys, you know, they are super nerds with the thing. They're clearly very smart, they're clearly training very hard. And all of them have great results. And I just find it disgraceful to be like, oh, they have good genetics. No, they are smart and work hard. And if something isn't working, then they change something until it does. That's really it. We can talk about ways. We can talk about technical ways to structure training progress, how you know, a certain way you should be progressing, but so much just having this mindset, realizing that progress needs to take place. I need to make it happen somehow. That will take you so far. And in my training book that I'm writing right now, that I can't promise, I would want it to be finished by Christmas, but I will have to prioritize that I feel that it's completely done. And what I'm trying in this book is to really, same things as here, just that I can go way more in depth into the whole thing, you know. But I'm not going into these like only these technical models for how to make progress happen. I try to make you see the big picture, that if you understand that progression needs to take place, you don't really always need all these specific instructions as to how you should do it. You will then, if you know progress needs to happen, you will adjust. You will keep adjusting until it happens. Same thing with your weight loss, you know. Like you start counting calories, okay? You do a certain intermittent fasting, you eat a certain amount of meals, you observe your weight loss. Oh, maybe initially, yeah, you drop some weight, but then it plateaus. And you can't be like, oh, this is supposed to keep working. It worked. Why isn't it working anymore? No, it happens, you know. Like as your body weight gets lower, of course, just walking around as a lighter person, you will be burning slightly less calories from that. So, you know, your energy expenditure is going to go down a little bit. If you restrict it for a long time, stuff like NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, just random activity you do, like tapping your feet or something, you know, that's going to go down. And of course, the body, for long enough in a caloric deficit, the body is going to be like, okay, apparently we don't have access to as much energy right now, so we have to try to turn down. Well, and the NEAT is one of those things that the body turns down then. So you have to, of course, then we come to technicalities. You maybe strategic refeeds of eating on maintenance for a little bit to kind of speed up the metabolism again before you go. Again, could be an idea, but really the main thing is just like further reduce the calorie deficit somehow. You know, move more, eat a little less, throw in a fast somewhere, you know. And if you do that, you're going to see more progress. You can't just break the laws of thermodynamics, right? Like some of us, we have been dealt better or worse hands with some things. I'm not denying that genetics play some part in your ability to build muscle. I'm not saying that someone couldn't have a slower metabolism. Like I've had clients that clearly when we've been tracking that they actually have that. So okay, you might be more challenged with some things, does not mean that you cannot do it. Even for you. And a random example just came up now, and you can improve your weaknesses as well. Even someone with a slow metabolism, eating good food, using stuff like fasting, building a good amount of muscle, even a person that initially had a low metabolism will get a lot higher metabolism, and maybe it's slightly lower than someone else that had a better starting point, but you know, you can still make it so that your metabolism is now much higher than most people's, right? You can have less below average muscle building genetics, but you just put in the work so hard that you reach a very high level. I would say some of these natural bodybuilding guys that I mentioned are like this, right? And I just started thinking about it's a different thing, but the bottom of a bench press used to be the weak point for me, and I started doing all these exercises when that point is really emphasized, like super deep dips or super deep ring push-ups. Now suddenly it's not the weakest part of my bench press anymore, it's now the lockout. So you see, weaknesses can become a strength if you work on them. Just that you have some kind of weakness, it doesn't mean that I just can't do it. Are you going to sit and whine and complain that, oh, maybe things are more difficult? It doesn't serve you, you know. To be realistic, of course, okay, maybe I have a slightly different, slightly more difficult starting point with whatever it is than some people. But okay, what do I do about it now? Clearly I have to do more then. I have to do more, right? And to be honest, many people that think they have bad genetics or a slow metabolism or something, that's not really it. That's not really it. If you're super honest with yourself, are you really consistent with your dieting, or do you go off diet like all the weekend, all the time? Or you claim you've been going to the gym. Are you skipping days here and there, or are you just not pushing it as hard as you could? Be honest with yourself, you know. You're going to see that if you do all the things right, and then if you think you get it all right and you still don't see progress, you keep adjusting, you're going to see the progress you want to see. I want to say that here, like when my dieting, when I started, I had to adjust. I first started by just eating low carb, you know, without really counting. I had done that once before. It was enough to lose a few kilos. Then I stalled. Okay, I start counting calories, so I reduce my intake. I was still on the keto diet. Okay, I lost a bit more. Nice stall. Okay, I throw in this daily long walk every day. Now I reduce a bit more. Then I stall. And at that point I found that, okay, right now I don't seem to quite be able to lose more weight. I can't just bring, I am too hungry, I don't have the willpower, discipline for it yet. So I started bulking, built some muscle, and then when I got back to it, now I could get down to a lower level of body fat, and especially later on when I implemented the fasting. Since then, it's just when I've been completely in control. I can just lose weight when I need to, you know. But I will still, you know, if I do it on a daily deficit, I will keep having to reduce calories. It's not that I reached a point where, yeah, I can just eat the same thing. I keep losing weight forever. No. And especially with my training, I'll say. It's been this, I've never followed a super specific progression models. I've had some ideas of how my progress, what it should look like. But if I stall somehow, I've been like, okay, what can I do? What can I change? I need to change something. I'm in here to make progress. I'm not in here to just kind of tell myself I'm doing something and then complain when nothing's happening. No, if nothing's happening, I'm doing something wrong. I have to adjust. I have to be smarter and push harder. That's it. So yeah, guys, I am bringing on new coaching clients that really want to seal the deal on this thing forever. Build yourself into the person that just goes after it and gets the results. Whether that is weight loss or bodybuilding or anything else self-development wise, really. So if you're interested, send me a DM on Instagram or email me. It's in the description below. Consider becoming a member of the channel to just support me and my content. It's very much appreciated. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. Don't wait for progress to happen. Make it happen. Peace.